The T-14 Armata Russian, 1-4, Industrial Designation Russian, 148, Romanized, Object 148, lit. Object 148, is a Russian main battle tank, MBT, based on the Armata Universal Combat Platform. The Russian army initially planned to acquire 2,300 T-14s between 2015 and 2020. By 2018, production and fiscal shortfalls delayed this to 2025, before Russia announced the apparent cancellation of the main production run on July 30, 2018. However, as of 2021, the Russian state-owned TASS media agency claimed the Armata had been expected to begin serial production in 2022, with delivery of a test batch of 100 to the 2nd Guards Tamanskaya Motor Rifle Division expected to begin in 2022. The tanks are planned to only be officially transferred following completion of all state tests. In December 2021, the Russian state conglomerate Rostec stated that serial production had commenced, with more than 40 Armata tanks anticipated to be delivered to Russian troops after 2023. History. After the cancellation of the T-95 in 2010, Ural-Vaganzavod began the OKR Armata armament design study. The study resulted in the Object 148 based on the T-95, itself based on the Object 187. The Russian army curtailed T-90 orders beginning in 2012 to prepare for the arrival of the new tank. The T-14 first publicly appeared in March 2015, when several tanks with covered turrets were seen loaded on train carriage in Alabino. It was subsequently revealed on May 9 during the 2015 Moscow Victory Day parade. During the 2015 rehearsals, one of the tanks suddenly stopped moving, and after attempts to tow it failed, it moved away under its own power after about 15 minutes. At least 7 T-14 Armata tanks appeared in the 2015 and 2016 Moscow Victory Day parade, 5 in 2017 and 2018. 4 were anticipated in promotional materials in advance of the 2019 parade. The state trials of the tank started in early 2020. This became known in April 2020, when Minister of Industry and Trade Denis Mancharov stated the T-14 has already been tested in combat conditions on the territory of the Syrian Arab Republic. Subsequently in July 2020, testing of an unmanned version of the T-14 called Tachanka-B was announced. In November 2022, the Moscow Times and Newsweek reported that the state program under which the T-14 Armata is being developed had been halted because the 2022 Russian invasion of Ukraine necessitated radical changes to the planned expenditure for urgent needs. The same month, several videos and photos of T-14s appeared on social media, apparently training at the same grounds as Russian military personnel who were mobilized. The videos were located to a training ground in Kazan, where cadets of the Kazan Higher Tank Command School train. Alleged preparation for deployment in Ukraine. On December 25, 2022, Vladimir Solovyov, a Russian TV presenter and propagandist, posted footage of the T-14 in combat training with other sources claiming that the tank was being prepared for battle and already deployed to the Special Military Operations Zone, with a military expert saying the videos were probably shot near Kazan, in Russia's Tatarstan region. Procurement. In 2016, the Russian Defense Ministry announced that it had signed a contract for a test batch of 100 T-14 tanks to be delivered by 2020, with the full project to be extended until 2025. In July 2018, Deputy Prime Minister for Defense and Space Industry Yuri Borisov said there is currently no need to mass-produce the Armata when its older predecessors, namely the latest variants of the T-72, remain effective against American, German and French counterparts, saying, "Why flood our military with Armatas? The T-72s are in great demand on the markets." Instead, a modernization program of the T-72s, T-80s and T-90s in service will take precedence. In August 2018, At the Army 2018 forum outside Moscow, the Russian Ministry of Defense signed a contract for the purchase of 32 T-14 tanks and 100 T-15 infantry fighting vehicles, with delivery to be finished by 2021. In February 2019 it was announced that the first 12 tanks would be delivered by the end of that year. In August 2019, the Russian military-industrial courier reported that out of a contractually agreed 132 Armata platform vehicles over 3 years to 2021, including T-14 tanks, and also T-15 IFVs and T-16 Brem ARVs, Ru-16, assuming production of 44 vehicles a year, only 16 would be delivered by the end of 2019. This implied a shortfall of at least 28 vehicles that year. By November 2019 the delivery forecast slipped to late 2019 or early 2020. In mid-January 2020 the head of Rostec, the conglomerate owning Uralvagonzavod, said no Armata platform vehicles including T-14 tanks had been delivered, and in February the CEO of Uralvagonzavod only said that Armata platform armor, not necessarily T-14 tanks, would start shipping to begin operation evaluation in 2020. With the full contract of 132 Armata platform vehicles completed by 2022. Furthermore, also in February 2020 it became evident that the set of requirements for the intended engine of the tank were not met by the Construction Bureau and the project of development of the engine would be closed in the first quarter of 2020, further delaying the introduction of the tank for an unspecified time. In August 2020, the Industry and Trade Minister told journalists that the production of 132 Armata platform tanks and fighting vehicles including T-14 tanks had begun after the resolution of problems with engines and thermal imaging equipment, and they would be issued to the armed forces in 2021. In July 2021, Minister of Industry and Trade Denis Mancharov said the tank would enter serial production in 2022. However, in March, Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu claimed that only an experimental industrial batch of T-14s would be delivered in 2022. In August 2021, Deputy Defense Minister Alexei Krivoruchko said that the Russian armed forces would receive 20 T-14 Armata tanks by the end of 2021. On August 23, 2021, a Rostec official said that the company had shipped an unspecified number of T-14 tanks in an experimental batch to the Russian armed forces. In November 2021, state trials were in progress and expected to be completed in 2022, and a pilot batch of 20 tanks was yet to be delivered to the armed forces. On December 24, 2021, First Deputy General Director of Rostec Vladimir Artyakov announced that serial production of the T-14 was launched. On December 9, 2021, Mike First Deputy Chairman Andrei Yelchinov said that state trials of new ammunition loader for the T-14 should be fully completed in 2022, and that more than 40 Armata tanks will be delivered to Russian troops after 2023. Design. The Armata was designed over the course of 5 years, and features a number of innovative characteristics, including an unmanned turret. The crew of 3 is seated in an armored capsule in the front of the hull, which will also include a toilet for the crew. Armament. The Vacuum 1 APFSDS round, developed for the 2A82-1M gun, has a penetrator that is 900 mm long, and is said to be capable of penetrating 1000 mm of RHA equivalent at a distance of 2 km. The new controlled detonation Technic HE-frag shell is available and has entered service. The gun is capable of firing new guided missiles like the 9M119M1 and VAR-M, which has an effective range of 100 m to 5 km, and can engage low-flying air targets such as helicopters, with a new 3UBK-21 Sprinter ATGM with an effective range up to 12 km developed specifically for it. The 3UBK-25 active homing ATGM is currently under development. The secondary armament consists of a 12.7 by 108 mm cord, GRU Index 6P49, machine gun with 300 rounds, not observed during the 2015 parade, and a 7.62 x 54 mmR Pecheneg PKP, GRU Index 6P41, or a PKTM 6P7, machine gun with 1,000 rounds. All guns are remotely controlled. In addition, another 1,000 rounds can be stored separately. The 152mm cannon, which was first developed in 2000 for the T-95 prototype, has a high-speed APFSDS shell with a 1,980 meters per second muzzle velocity, only dropping to 1,900 meters per second at 2 kilometers. However, Russian engineers have so far kept the 125mm size gun, assessing that improvements in ammunition are enough to increase effectiveness while concluding that a larger bore weapon would offer few practical advantages. The T-14 could also be modified to use anti-aircraft missiles. A 30mm anti-aircraft gun could be installed in the near future. In August 2022, Russian media reported that the 38th Research, Development, and Testing Institute of Armored Hardware and Armament proposed a list of new features for a prospective future T-14 design at the turn of the 2030s, which included the following. System of symbiosis between T-14 tank and dedicated reconnaissance drone. 152mm main gun. Thermobaric ammo for 152mm. Supersonic armor-piercing ammo for 152mm. ATGM for 152mm with aiming/guidance system fire and forget. Improved target detection and identification at 6+ km. Redesigned turret and new autoloader for accommodating 152mm gun and ammo. Mobility. During the prototype stage, several engines with power outputs ranging from 1500 to 2000 HP were tested on the platform, with the 1500 horsepower version reportedly allowing a max speed of 82 km per hour. The T-14 is powered by a CHTZ-12N360, a -85-3A, diesel engine with a displacement of 34.6 liters delivering up to 1,100 kilowatts, 1,500 horsepower. The engine's theoretical maximum power, not normally used, is 1,500 kilowatts, 2,000 horsepower, at the cost of radically decreasing its service life. Projected min 2,000 hours at a nominal 1,100 kilowatts, 1,500 horsepower, comparable to other modern tank engines, and up to 10,000 hours at a moderated 890 kilowatts, 1,200 horsepower. The engine is electronically controlled. Operational range is over 500 kilometers. The T-14 has a 12-speed automatic gearbox, with a top speed of 80 to 90 kilometers per hour, 50 to 56 miles per hour, and a range of 500 kilometers, 300 miles. Other sources suggest a partly or fully hydrostatic transmission. Unlike previous Russian and Soviet designs, such as the T-90/80/72/64, the T-14 has 700mm road wheels per side, based on the T-80 variant. This may have been done to improve the pivoting ability of the tank, as an active suspension system improves the target lock time by a factor of 2.2, and reduces the time frame between target detection and reaction by 31%, all due to the resulting smoother ride. Protection. The main protective armor is built with a new steel codenamed 44 SSVSH, which has extremely high durability and is able to withstand extreme temperature environments. It is 15% lighter than steel used on older tanks. There is also a completely new approach to composite armor with an unknown ceramic layer and utilizing ERA within its base design, as a continuous layer, not in a form of added bricks. Applique armor is on the sides and forward 2/3. Slat, cage, armor is in the rear 1/3 on the sides and the back. The T-14's crew of 3 is protected by an internal armored capsule. Both the chassis and the turret are equipped with the Malachite Dual Explosive Reactive Armor (ERA) system on the front, sides, and the top. The tank uses an integrated, computerized control system which monitors the state and functions of all tank modules. In battle, the software can analyze threats and then either suggest or automatically take actions to eliminate them, while without the external threat it can detect and rectify crew errors. Serial production of the Armata platform's ceramic armor components began in mid-2015. The tank features the Afghanate, Russian, Active Protection System, APS. Previous Russian APS were either hard kill versions, Drozd, Arena, or soft kill version, Shtora 1. Hard kill measures kinetically attack threatening missiles or other munitions, while soft kill measures disrupt guidance systems, laser dazzlers or infrared emitters. Afghanet is about to introduce the first dual system with both soft and hard actions incorporated. It includes a millimeter wave radar to detect, track, and intercept incoming anti-tank munitions, both kinetic energy penetrators and tandem charges. Currently, the maximum speed of the interceptable target is 1,700 meters per second, Mach 5.0, with projected future increases of up to 3,000 meters per second, Mach 8.8. According to news sources, it protects the tank from all sides, however it is not geared towards shooting upwards to defend against top attack munitions. Defense Update released an analysis of the tank in May 2015, speculating that Afghanet's main sensors are the 4 panels mounted on the turret's sides, which are probably AESA radar panes spread out for a 360 degrees view, with possibly one more on top of the turret. In their opinion, the active part of the system consists of both a hard kill and soft kill element, the first of which actively destroys an incoming projectile, such as an unguided rocket or artillery shell, while the second confuses the guidance systems of ATGMs, causing them to lose target lock. They believe that it would be effective against 3rd and 4th generation ATGMs, including Hellfire, TOW, Bill, Javelin, Spike, Brimstone, and JAGM, as well as sensor-fused weapons, SFW. Some Russian sources claim the hard-kill APS is effective even against depleted uranium-cored armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding SABO, APFSDS, rounds traveling at 1.5 to 2 km/s, 0.93 to 1.24 mi/s, but others are skeptical, saying the fragmentation charge would not do much to the dense penetrator. While it might be able to push it off course somewhat with a hit-to-kill approach, it likely will not do much to stop it. According to a Russian Ministry of Defense source, practical tests confirmed the destruction of the uranium subcaliber projectile, goal speed up to 2 kilometers per second. However, several outside analysts remain skeptical, as the feat has not yet been independently verified or even publicly demonstrated. Afghanet hard-kill launchers are the long tubes mounted in groups of 5 between the turret's front sides and the chassis. These send out an electronically activated charge that fires an unknown type of warhead towards the target. Many analysts currently assume it is some form of high-explosive fragmentation charge, but the possibility has been raised by other sources of the usage of a more solid warhead, possibly similar to an explosively formed penetrator, as seen in Russian patent RU-226-3268. The tank is also equipped with the NII Stali Upper Hemisphere Protection Complex, which consists of 2 steerable cartridges with 12 smaller charges each, and a turret top VLS with 2 more similar cartridges, corresponding to the vehicle's soft kill APS. Additionally, using the AESA radar and anti-aircraft machine gun, it is possible to destroy incoming missiles and slow-flying shells, except kinetic energy penetrators. In July 2015, the deputy director of Uralvagonzavod Tank Manufacturing Company claimed the T-14 would be invisible to radar and infrared detection due to radar-absorbing paint and the placement of components with heat signatures deep within the hull. The turret's shape is designed to reduce its radio and thermal signature for a stealth ground vehicle. American and Russian armor experts have doubts about these unproven claims. A retired senior U.S. military officer said that sensitive modern thermal technology could detect things such as vehicle movement, a weapon firing, an exposed crewman, or the exhaust of an engine capable of moving a 50-ton tank regardless of heat-generating component placement. Analysts also pointed out that most stealth technology in Russia has been for aircraft to reduce their radar cross-section from airborne or ground-based detection, while in a ground vehicle the approach would be to make it indistinguishable from ground clutter to optimize shielding from air-to-ground detection, and the two techniques do not necessarily overlap. In August 2022, based on experience from conflict in Ukraine, Russian Army requested, and engineers suggested following improvements. Increased range for APS detection of potential threat and, also, increased range for hard kill action measures of Afghanet. Improved T-14 all-out shielding against RPGs and ATGMs. Enhanced electronics protection against electromagnetic and microwave weapons. New system for remotely deactivating at landmines. Sensors and communication. The T-14 is equipped with 26.5 to 40 GHz active electronically scanned array radar, which is used mainly by the APS. The T-14 uses highly protected communication channels that connect a group of T-14s and the command post. The commander and gunner have largely identical multispectral image sights, with visible electromagnetic spectrum and thermography channels and laser rangefinders. The commander's sight is installed on the turret top and has a 360 degrees field of view, while the gunner's, situated in the turret's niche to the gun's left, is slaved to it and is additionally equipped with a direct vision periscopic channel and laser designator for the T-14's gun-launched, SACLOS anti-tank missiles. The detection distance of tank-sized objects for both sights is 7,500 m, 8,000, in daylight, through the TV/periscopic channel, and almost equals 3,500 m at night through the thermal channel. There's also a backup night vision capable sight, with 2,000/1,000 m respective detection distances. In addition to traditional vision periscopes, the driver has a forward-looking infrared camera and a number of zooming closed-circuit television cameras. Video cameras are installed for all-round vision for the crew, since it lacks the normal vantage point of turret roof hatches. This 360-degree camera coverage is perhaps one of the T-14's most unusual features, made necessary because of extremely limited visibility without them. The crew, clustered in the front of the hull, would have poor situation awareness if the camera setup and video feeds were to fail. Although the T-14 is touted as an entirely Russian-made next-generation tank, it has been speculated that some components may not be entirely domestically made. In 2015, U.S. cybersecurity analysts TASS Global stated that information obtained from pro-Ukrainian hackers indicated that Russian industries have had difficulty producing critical components of night vision systems for the tank, and have attempted to buy them from a French supplier in the past. It was claimed this means components of the T-14 could have originated outside of Russia, and may be more difficult to obtain or produce due to sanctions against Russia for its involvement in Crimea and eastern Ukraine. This became partially subject to discussion in 2016 when the Krasnogorsk plant finished testing the Irbis-K night vision sighting system. Completion of the Irbis-K, the first Russian-produced mercury-cadmium telluride (MCT) matrix thermal sight, addressed the disadvantage of Russian tanks relative to their Western counterparts. The Irbis-K is capable of identifying targets at ranges up to 3,240 meters during both day and night. Russia's upgraded Armata tank may get 152 mm gun. The materials suggest that a potential enemy may create new generation tanks at the turn of the 2030s, which will require an upgrade of T-14 Armata tanks. Moscow, August 26. /TASS/ Russian military specialists propose outfitting the latest T-14 Armata tanks with a new unmanned turret with a 152 mm gun, according to the materials of the 38th R&D and Testing Institute of Armored Hardware and Armament obtained by TASS. The materials suggest that a potential enemy may create new generation tanks at the turn of the 2030s, which will require an upgrade of T-14 Armata tanks. The Institute's specialists believe that the Armata should get as its weapons suite a new unmanned turret with a 152 mm cannon. It currently has a 125 mm gun, supersonic subcaliber armor-piercing projectiles, fuel-air explosive munitions, missiles based on the fire and forget and fire again principle, and an onboard reconnaissance and signal relay drone. Read also: Russia launches production of latest Armata tanks. Military specialists propose enhancing the Armata's protection with the system of remotely neutralizing homing anti-tank projectiles, the technology of automatically detecting and striking targets in probable areas of tank approaches at a distance of up to 1 kilometer, the laser equipment of disabling anti-tank guided missile guidance, and the system of remotely deactivating anti-tank mines. The tank's upgrade will also improve its all-out shielding against rocket-propelled grenade launchers and anti-tank guided missiles, and enhance electronics protection against electromagnetic and microwave weapons. It will include the systems of changing the armored vehicle's signature and its defense against blinding laser weapons. The upgrade will also qualitatively boost the crew's situational awareness for accomplishing assignments successfully in a multi-domain operational environment of the future. In particular, the crew will get an advanced decision-making support system with the technology of automatically identifying targets at a distance of over 6 kilometers and transparent armor. The other requirements for the upgraded Armata include a more efficient 1,500 horsepower diesel engine, dual manual control of weapons and the engine, and also improved ergonomics and habitability to provide for the crew's continuous operation round the clock. The Armata is a heavy-tracked standardized platform serving as the basis to develop a main battle tank, an infantry fighting vehicle, an armored personnel carrier and some other armored vehicles. The T-14 tank based on the Armata platform was shown to the public for the first time at Red Square's Victory Day Parade on May 9, 2015. The new combat vehicle features fully digitized equipment, an unmanned turret and an isolated armored capsule for the crew.